quit my job and I start my Turo journey. And I purchased one little car, which is my Mercedes-Benz, and now have 40 vehicles. And today's, I'm literally fighting to keep this fleet going. As you can see, from my 40 vehicles that I have on the platform, this is how much actually active. I still have those 40 vehicles, but active wise, I have about 26 active vehicles, which means there's about 14 of them sitting. So, and today I want to cover a few things. First, before we get started, my name is Rose, and I run a tour fleet here in Central Florida, Orlando, Florida. And I want to go over one big mistake that I made today that make me literally struggling right now with my tour fleet. And the biggest mistake that I made was, I don't want to sugarcoat it, it was taking out a business loan. I'm going to get straight to the point with you. I took out a business loan to buy more vehicles, and today I am dealing with lawsuit. I am dealing with my merchant account being shut down. Even my side hustle business that was funding my tour business has been shut down. They're holding funds for me. I mean, it's not looking good at all. And I feel like that's what started my whole downfall here today. And as we speak right now, I am still in surviving mode. So there's no telling that I'm going to be continually growing this fleet any further. I have to watch and see if I can at least get out from the situation that I'm in. So the biggest mistake I made was taking out a $75,000 business loan. At that time, money was good. I'm gonna be honest with you, money was good, but I was insanely wanna grow my fleet. I have 3 employees at that time because I believe I have 36 vehicles. At that time, I wanted to buy more vehicles, but I couldn't. I went to several dealership, call lender, walking inside, suit up with bank to have conversation with bank teller, sit down, explain to them what I do. It's like I was begging people to borrow me money. Then finally, after every door closed, but the door closed, it's not because my credit wasn't good. I still have an 800 credit score, and I still have income coming in. But the problem was I have way too many vehicles under my name, and lender didn't want to give me any more cars. They don't want to finance me any more cars, and my business didn't have enough credit for it to go on its own and buy. So I have to co-sign for everything. So with that being said, I take out a business loan. I call after a few investigation. I didn't really have anything in place. So I didn't have a system in place too, so which is another mistake that I made. I'm gonna be honest with you on Turo, not having a system, not having a tracker, a system that's tracking your earning for each vehicles, a system that you wake up every morning as the host that to look at your schedule, to know exactly what needs to be taking place, to know everybody's what they're planning on doing, how much money you're going to spend for that day. I didn't have a system in place. I was just, it literally feels, I mean, I didn't have any business experience. I left my hospitality job to, to just come to do something physical like this. So there's a lot of things that I was locked of. I didn't have. I didn't have the help. I didn't have a friend, a counselor, someone to talk to explain to me how to run this business. There's a lot of things that I didn't have, like system, and I would have to learn as I was growing. My main focus was to grow, to grow, to grow, but I wasn't systematic anything. So everything was all over the place. If someone asked me, "Hey Rose, what's your book look like?" To me, that's a funny conversation. I don't know anything. I know how much every car. Each I will go to each of my cars and do this. This is what I normally do to each of my car. I will go and click one car to see how much that one car make me. Just keep track. So this car, as you can see, so far this year, 7K. In January, it make 14. That's kind of how I go by and do for every car. Is I keep switching from my fleet, and then I'm looking to see what car that perform better, you know. So that's kind of how I usually do it, and which is not the right way to do it. So it was very challenging. So that's why I went in and take out that $75,000 business loan. My goal why I take that $75,000 business loan was to pay off some cars. Initially, that was my goal because I had way too many finance vehicles. So I'm like, man, if I can have a loan and then pay off a few cars, this will help me. So when I sat down looking at all my car payments, I realized I can only pay four to, at that time it was like 4 to 3 cars, depending which car that I chose to pay. But I was more focused on the one with the high monthly payments. Like we got the Alfa Romeos. I wanted to pay those, because though like some of those cars I'm paying like 600 something for them. 690 for this car, I believe. 700 probably for this one. So yeah, it was very tough to really do this. So I decided to take that $75,000 loan with the bad terms. I think I had to pay about 120,000 or something back. For a $75,000 loan, you have to pay 120 back. That's a bad deal. That's more than 45% that you have to pay. So, but because I was desperate, I needed to grow, so I took that loan. After I took that loan, I used this money. I couldn't pay the cars because it didn't make any sense for me to pay the cars because it was gonna be only 5 cars. Because in reality, every car is supposed to make you $1,000. That's my reality. I always want every single cars I have on the platform to make me $1,000. That's the goal. The goal is to make 1 grand for each car. So if you have 40, you're expecting to make 40 grand, 40,000. Again, that's just for performance wise. But when you have that many cars, and Turo have this thing called dynamic pricing, they price the vehicle by itself, which I'll make a separate videos, which kind of help. But back then we didn't have that. So sometimes some cars, because when you grow and you don't have a system in place, you can find vehicles sitting for a couple of days and you never realize it, and then especially your employees, some of them, if you're not very much involved, they don't care. They're not gonna tell you this car been sitting here. They only care about their check. So I didn't have a real business system in place where my employees have to follow. They were only looking at the daily things that we have to do on Turo. For instance, let me show you my trip here. They were only looking at the daily trip, that the daily stuff that we have to do. Like today, I got cars coming back, I got cars leaving, and all those things. Those are our daily. So today we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things to do. That's kind of how we go by and look at everything overall. So we look at the schedule that Turo gave us, but we don't never pay attention to, anything else. That was my operation. And then, yeah, so I used that $75,000. I talked to a couple people and I come to a conclusion that I need more cars. Instead of paying off 5 cars or 3 cars, instead of paying 3 or 5 cars, so I decided to go to trying to see if I can get cars at the auction, contacting the friends that I know that was selling cars. I contacted him, and then he told me he can put me under his dealer license. Just pay him $1,200, and I pay him the $1,200. He did everything. I had to pay another $300 something for a renew, and then I also had to pay him for a plate, a dealer plate, all of that stuff. So overall, I spent about, I would say, $2,000 in the whole process of getting a dealer license in 3 days. So in 3 days, I have the money, $75,000 sitting in my bank, and I have the dealer license. It's not a dealer license; it's like an action license. I was under a dealership that gave me the ability to go to the actions, any action, because I have the pass now. So he took me one day to go view to see how everything is because I didn't have any experience. Then from that one day, I came back again and I was just raising my hand, purchasing every single vehicle. So I did put this $75,000 to good use. I purchased 17 vehicles. 17 vehicles. I pay a big tow truck, those big cars. I mean, I literally feel like a real businessman. I felt great. I purchased 15 vehicles for roughly around 50 something thousand dollars I spent and the whole money. And that was it. I'm sorry, 17 vehicles I purchased. So I take those vehicles, look at them. They all start, luckily, nothing major. But I did have to replace a couple engine, body repair. I mean, I bought those vehicles like 2,000, 3,000, 1,000. I mean, a lot of Nissan. Majority of them were Nissans and Kia. I mean, they're like economy cars, very cheap, easy to fix, easy to maintain. And I purchased all these cars and I fixed them. I even go to my own saving, take out an additional $30,000 to help help the business because it was an investment to me. I mean, it was the best time. That business loan that I take, that $75,000 business loan, I had to pay them back. I have to pay them back. I believe it was $6,800 back monthly, technically, but it was weekly. I was making payment $1,700 weekly. Mind you, the whole process while I'm buying car was still making payment because it took time. While the cars were being fixed, I was still making payment. So my cash flow for my tour business was going away. It was literally started going away, and these cars weren't ready yet, so I can put them in the platform so they can make me money because I didn't have a system in place. So with that being said, after some of the cars started getting ready and I tried to upload them on the platform, and Turo keep rejecting every single car. And now when I called them, they said, yeah, we wouldn't be able to take this car because it has Savage. It's a Savage car. And this was the first time I heard this. And I didn't know Turo doesn't take Savage car. Rebuilt title. If your title is rebuilt, they don't accept that kind of stuff. So here I am uploading cars. I have 17 vehicles to put on the platform. I'm so excited. I'm about to have 50 some cars on my fleet now. And then this is going to be a big business operation. And then, yeah, I fall off. I couldn't. So I could not add any of them. I was only managed from that 17 vehicles. I only managed to add three vehicles, which is my Murano here, my Pathfinder, and then I believe there was a Lincoln. There you go, in my Lincoln. Those are the only three vehicles I was able to add on the platform. And I can tell you this was devastating because I spent the 75,000, including my 30,000. I mean, to fix these cars and then to try to put them on the platform, then you find out you can't. At that time, I couldn't keep these vehicles. I had to return them right away back to the auction because where I was doing business at, which was this location here, my warehouse, as you can see in the background. I mean, it's a little warehouse where I can only keep 14 vehicles inside. So 14 vehicles inside, I think it was like 800 square feet. I can only put 14 vehicles inside. And I can tell you it wasn't easy because I can't put vehicles outside. I can park a few vehicles in front of my door, but I couldn't park any outside because there's other businesses outside. There's other people that have their own business, and everybody only have 2 parking spots outside. So I just couldn't. So keep those vehicles. So I have no choice but to switch them. I have no choice but to return these vehicles back to the auction. I had no choice to do that. And when I returned them to the auction, I still think it was the biggest mistake I made also. Because when they got to the auction, I was only able to make, I believe, $25,000 back from this money. Because I fixed the cars and sell them back to the auction. They were looking nice, better. But because of the Savage title, people didn't want to pay any money. So me spending over $100,000 to get this project going ended up making only $25,000 back. That $25,000 was used for business cash flow, and it helps me to manage the fleet for a few months Then suddenly things get harder. Then I start taking out more business loan. I take a small little loan again. They give me another 10,000 to help me sustain to pay very fast. That 10,000 I had to pay 15 back, $15,000 back, and before you know it, I couldn't pay any more loans. I'm paying this one $300 weekly, this one 1,700, and it froze all my cash flow for my tour business. And then, yeah, that's how things get collapsed. I think that was the biggest mistake, not having someone to talk to, not being able to know more about business, funding, and stuff like that, and then not having a system in place. To be honest, I feel like that was my biggest mistake. It's not having a system to keep track of my spending. Instead of growing so fast, I could have tracked my expenses, track how much these cars are actually making. So with that being said, that's pretty much what caused me to be where I'm at right now, fighting. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will make more videos for sure. And thank you for watching.